We have in the studio right now, oh my gosh, these numbers. Oh my God. 4.5 million on Instagram, 7.6 on his YouTube page. On his, is that right number right there?
That is right.
7.6 million people. 7.6 million. He's a businessman. He's a content creator. He's a musician. He's everything. And he's a good guy. It's the one and only... You say it, Nala, because I know this is a big one for you.
Vikkstar.
Yeah!
She's so excited.
Now, I wanted Nala on this interview because earlier on, previously, we had Evander Holyfield, for example, walk into the studio.
Yeah.
And I remember at that time, she's like, yeah, I mean, cool, but I want Vikkstar to come to the studio. Just to let you know of. And then I said to Nala, why? Why?
So, Sidemen, of course. When I was in university, you guys were like the biggest thing to us, still to this day. And we used to watch, so we had like a cinema room, and then every Monday, because you guys post on Sunday, we would put it on blast, and we would all sit there. And then we kind of grew up, we all graduated, but we still do the same thing, where we watch Sidemen Sundays and then talk about it after. So it's kind of like family, some sort, to us. So I was very excited to see it.
That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's so nice to hear, because again, sometimes we're one side of the camera, we're doing our thing, and we kind of forget that, a lot of people get together. And I think we were probably some of the first content creators to do a scheduled programming. So we drop a big video every Sunday, and it creates this moment. And obviously you guys are ahead in time zone.
Yeah.
So you guys in India and Australia are like, why'd you release this in the middle of the night? But obviously you guys, that meant you had a Monday thing going on.
So if you don't know Vikkstar, you basically were, like you said, early content creators where it came to like scheduled programming on YouTube.
Yes.
So it was a show that would come out pretty much the same time every week, and it was a bunch of boys just coming together. And I mean, but who created it? Like, as in who was doing the creative side? Or, hey, I've got an idea. Was it everyone? Like, how did it work?
So we all share it between the 7 of us. So there's 7 of us, all individual creators. We started a long time ago, back in 2010, 2011, some of us, back before you could even put adverts on YouTube videos.
Cool.
So it was just a fun hobby for all of us at school. We then started making content. We started thinking, hang on a second, there's adverts now. This could potentially be a bit of a job. Back in 2013, a few of us moved into a house together and created probably one of the first like creator content houses back then.
And how old were you?
I was, at the time, I had just turned 18.
Wow! So and the family, what's your background?
Yeah, so my family, very academic, as you might guess. My mum's a doctor, my dad's a chemical engineer, and they were thinking, what on earth are you doing? Playing video games, uploading it to YouTube, make sure you ace your exams, which I managed to do.
Good on you.
And then I took a gap year, and I'd say, 10 years later, I'm still on a gap year. It's a long run.
Why did you move out the house? That's what we want to know.
Because the reason I moved out of the house was because I was annoying my parents, because I'd be recording on all time zones. I'd be recording with Americans, Australians from my bedroom, and I would be shouting and screaming and yelling and recording videos throughout the night, and I was like, my parents must hate me. They must hate me by now. They're waking up in the morning to go to work, and I'm still sat there in my room recording videos.
Clearly.
So,
but look at you now, hey? Look at me now. Look at me now, as Leon Edwards said. What a remarkable story. So then, obviously creating the content. Here's a somewhat of a personal question. You've got all 7 of you guys, or many of you guys, doing it together. Was someone smart enough to get like a lawyer involved to get contracts done early on? Because who owns the propriety of what you guys were creating?
I love this question. Let's do a deep dive on
I'm always interested in these things because they start off as a bit of fun. Correct. And then these guys are making real money, right? Real money was made.
So funnily enough, and this is, I feel like, one of our biggest strengths, we just celebrated a few days ago our 11th anniversary of creating content
Good on you guys.
together, which in terms of groups in music, on YouTube, and that sort of thing, it doesn't tend to happen in over a decade. And actually, we didn't have contracts or agreements for a long time, but we all had the mutual respect and understanding that every single project is split equally 7 ways.
Good on you.
And that was really, really important, because we knew if this was going to be a long-term thing, some people will have good years where they're the most popular thing ever. Some people might have bad years where they're struggling a little bit, they don't have the creative ideas, they've got other issues affecting them. But we said, we're kind of in this together, we're all going to try and show up, share accountability, and share the profits and ownership and revenue all equally. And that's allowed us to continue to where we are now.
That's amazing. That's like the Beatles. They just did it on a handshake. They did it on a handshake, and it was like...
He gets the Beatles in every conversation.
Yeah.
A good model to follow, right?
Yeah, the writings was split down the middle.
But that's good. You guys came in at the same level, so you should leave at the same level as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think is important. So how many members are there? I mean, I'm naive to it. I watch my daughters watch it all the time.
Yes.
How many members are there?
We are 7 members, which works fantastically because it really gives us kind of diversity. So the members are myself, Vikkstar. We have KSI, very, very well known around the world, doing crazy stuff all the time.
Yeah.
There's Zerka, Mini Mincer, Rota Shaw, Bazinga, and Tobe Jizzle. And we make the 7 of us. And those are gamer usernames, by the way.
Yeah,
like when we were like 15, 16 years old, we made our gaming usernames.
And
we made YouTube channels in that, and now it's stuck.
Your name's good. I don't mind yours. Like, it's a good name.
Yeah.
What was the last one?
Tobe Jizzle, yeah. It's an interesting one.
Tobe Jizzle.
It's really like...
He's forever going to be known as...
2012 coded.
Yeah, it is very,
What is it?
very...
Toe Jizzle.
Tobe, because he's Toby, so it's Tobe.
Okay.
Tobe Jizzle.
That's so cool.
I thought it was a piece of jewelry or something.
What I find fascinating is that you guys somehow had the foresight to do the schedule thing, to do the house, to do all these things. Was that... who thought of that? Because now when you go on YouTube, every single creator will say every Monday and Wednesday I drop a video, every Friday I drop a video. So who thought of that?
So the house itself was kind of just a nice coincidence whereby, again, we were all doing it kind of ourselves. And I actually realized for me, in my first year of creating content full time, I'd finished my A-level studies in the UK. I had a place for university to do natural sciences at UCL in London. I had this 1-year gap and I started doing it full time. All my friends from school left the town that we lived in to go off to university. I was at home and it was weird. I would be in these kind of online calls recording gaming videos and I would kind of end the call and I'd look around and be like, I'm just like on my own at home, kind of. It was almost a little bit lonely in terms of like when I wasn't recording videos, I was very much on my own. So when there was the opportunity to move into people who had kind of like-minded on the same career, it meant we could film each other's videos, help with editing. If you wanted someone to be in your video, you say, hey, come down to my bedroom, we're going to record this clip. So that, made a lot of sense from that perspective, but it was quite kind of a natural, organic thing. And then the reason we started scheduled programming is it was around 2015 or 2016. We did a YouTube original series, which was really, really fun. This was one of the first original series. We had crazy celebs joining us. We had Steve Aoki on an episode, Nicki Minaj on an episode. Nicole Scherzinger on an episode. We had Bear Grylls. We had Steve-O. And YouTube put together this huge budget for us to kind of create content. And we all had individual channels at that time. So they said, look, we've put a lot of money into this project. We need you to have a channel that's active and living to host these big episodes.
Sure.
So we said, okay, let's think about this. Let's all band together once a week to create the biggest video that we can together. Let's all brainstorm it together. So you said the creative, we all sit together almost like on a round table and bounce ideas off until we land on, hey, this is a video idea we're doing. Every week, one of the 7 of us effectively exec produces the video. So it comes down to their responsibility to make sure locations are booked. We have activities set up, all the kind of, the framework of the video set up. And then we just turn up, have fun, and every week there's a new video. So
it's so cool. Yeah. It's so cool. I love it. I think you guys do such a great job. Well done. And they're still going 11 years on. 11 years, not easy to do.
No.
We've been doing this show together for nearly 15 years. So we know how hard it is to, because there's egos that are in place. Rossi's, that's him.
Yes,
so
obviously, as you can tell.
So there's a lot that comes into it. But well done on what you guys have done. What's the other one that my kids watch?
Beta Squad.
Okay, is there beef? Is there any beef between you guys?
No, there's no beef. We're all actually good friends. We collaborate with each other. We, all join in the same events together and such. And I think that's one nice thing I feel, especially about the creator community in the UK. we look at everyone as another opportunity for collaboration, another content dynamic. Kind of, we look at ourselves as we're all on the same team.
Good.
Whereas in other regions, sometimes creators can kind of create these beefs. And
What's going on in America with all these Aiden? What's his name? Aiden something.
Aiden Ross.
Well, who
Aiden
are
Ross.
these people? And who's the skinnier guy? Is that who's the skinny
Neon?
guy that? Yeah, there's
Neon.
always he dies
Yeah.
every week on TikTok. Every week on TikTok, I'm like, oh, did he really die? And then, who are these? Are they individual content creators in the States?
Yeah, and there's this big live streaming wave that's happening in the States, which is a real phenomenon that's kind of the next generation from us. We're very much like, we make our big video, we edit it all up and we put it up. But now you see these guys like
Just go
people like
live.
Speed and Kai Cenat, they're going live.
Yeah,
with
like Kevin
hundreds
Hart's
of
jumping
thousands
on them, and
of
like
viewers.
it's become this big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They go
so
live at a certain time, or they just go live whenever they
I
want?
think it's more of a just whenever they want, and these guys are out and about doing things, and it's so cool to see that next level of content. And for them, it's all about, they create these crazy moments, people just clip them and it goes on the TikToks
Yeah,
and it goes
yeah,
on
yeah.
Reels. That's like the
Wow.
way nowadays, and it's very different. to what
Scary
we
though,
do.
because you're live, you don't know what could happen, which I guess is one of the reasons why you want to watch it. But things could go wrong very quickly if they don't watch out where they're sort of heading with it, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we've always been kind of averse. We're in the situation where it's like we go somewhere and we post pictures and videos when we've left, and these guys are
Yes.
live to hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
I was actually recently in Vietnam doing the Gumball Rally, and Speed was also on the rally. And I remember I walked out of the hotel to go to an ATM to get some local currency, and I hear some shouting on the road. I see 15 mopeds turn around in the middle of the road, start driving towards me. I think, oh no, what's going on here? And then they pull him, they go, hey, Vic, we love the videos. Where's Speed? We're looking for him. And they've all got his live stream open on their phones, and they're just rolling around on
Trying to
mopeds.
find him.
Yeah, trying to
Wow.
find him. And I'm like, this is a crazy concept to me. It's like,
Like being hunted down.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Yeah.
Dubai's always special. You proposed. Did you propose in Dubai?
I did indeed. Yeah. No, it's an amazing place. That was before the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix a couple of years ago.
Good on you.
And yeah, just really enjoy being here and just enjoying it. It's just a nice change of scene from the UK, and everything's so luxurious and you
It's
really
nice,
get looked
huh?
after. So
Yeah.
any reason to come here?
Did the marriage happen yet?
Yeah.
It did indeed. Just over.
So you're not a sideman anymore. Can't be the sideman anymore.
Yeah.
Is he married?
Oh, it's a dad joke. I'm a dad.
Who was
you
the
can't-
best
you know what
man?
a
That's what we
sideman
wanna
is?
What do you mean?
To be a side. Well, hold on. What's the?
Well,
To be a sideman, it means like if you got a guy on the side, I'm the side man.
well, it's a little different. It's a little different.
Is that
in
bad?
the UK.
You guys, what?
I see the reference you're pulling.
She's got a side man, like she's a side guy. She's having an affair.
You mean a guy on the side?
Yeah, side man.
No, those two are
Please
not
explain,
the same.
Vikkstar,
I
please.
see the parallels now.
Yeah.
So the
Don't be nice.
Sideman itself it's like a UK slang term, and it's not a nice way. It's like, oh, so if you have like a really successful person, and then the person that kind of like in their entourage, like the way to insult them would be like, oh, you're a side man.
Oh, you're not the main
man.
character. So you're like Rossi.
So we're all
Sidekick, I am.
yeah.
Rossi.
So sidekick.
It's a little
Yeah.
different than
Yeah.
having a guy on the side,
So yeah,
Chris.
Okay.
that's we're very responsible grown ups.
None of you are the sidemen because you've all got your individual bits. That's the ironic bit, isn't
and
it?
it was complete irony. We made it as a bit of a joke when we made a crew on Grand Theft Auto. We're like, we'll call it the ultimate Sidemen. And I feel like UK culture is very much like poke fun at yourself,
Yeah.
and poke fun at each other, and that's what we do, and that's what we've kind of made a career
Exactly.
doing.
In terms of content creation now, do you think it's too saturated? And how does someone become you
It's a
nowadays?
really good question. And when I get asked, how do I become, a content creator with a following?
Yeah.
I say, I wish I knew how to tell you, because I did it in a completely different time.
Yeah.
When it was way less competitive. There wasn't any money involved, which made it a lot easier to enter. Kind of now we have probably about, 60 or 70 people on a team helping us put together content. So in terms of someone now picking up a
You
camera,
have 60 or 70 people on your sideman team helping you create what
just
you guys
in
create.
content,
Because
yeah.
the content is insane. It's like an hour and a half. It's like a movie.
We
You
can't
sit
even
down
get.
and
I
watch
can't
it.
even get to. This is us.
This is it.
What are we doing wrong here?
Do you have one person who just comments on other people's stuff? Is that one person's job?
We have a social media team. So
Right.
They come and pitch us all of the newest TikTok trends and stuff. Because
Yeah.
we're like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, are we doing this filter today? We're doing this thing, and we're just like, okay.
If you were in jail, which one of the Sidemen would you call to get you out? Which one's going to get you out?
Yeah.
Who you're relying on?
The oldest member of the Sidemen, Josh, he's got a very So you knew. See,
Why
that's
Josh?
amazing.
No, but you explain. I want to hear why
Yeah.
you think Josh would get Vikkstar out of jail quickest.
Josh is like the dad of the group. He's
Yeah.
very responsible. If anything happens, everyone turns to Josh. And so, yeah.
Is
I
that
think
why? Is that why for you?
Spot on. Yeah,
See, I
nail on the
know.
head. And that's why it's fun, because we put ourselves across as who we are.
Yeah.
We just act as ourselves, have fun, and I feel like everyone in the audience can kind of share in who we
They're
are. And what
very
we do.
relatable, I will say that. Like, even though they're on another caliber, it feels like I'm watching my friends. It
Yeah, he's
doesn't feel-
loaded, isn't he?
appreciate
You're
it.
loaded, aren't you?
Why would you say that?
You got like.
He's loaded,
You can
Ross.
tell by just looking at him. Like, look at him. He's like one of those people who's so loaded that he doesn't show it.
He doesn't look loaded because he's so loaded.
Look how loaded he is.
What is it? What is it? What is it? Quiet luxury?
Yeah,
That's
he's
what
like
it is,
that, isn't he?
right?
Yeah.
Like, you could just like buy everything you wanted. Wow.
Can I ask one
good.
question?
Of course.
You've done it for 11 years. What's your favorite video? Top 3, I would say, that you've done.
Okay, one of my favorites is we did a road trip in America where we went from LA to Vegas, and the concept was we have a series called Cheap versus Expensive. So we randomly get sorted into 2 pairs of 3. And one team had this massive luxury RV with air conditioning, everything, and the other team was in a camper van with like fabric seats, some cowboy driver, and it was like 40-degree heat.
Wow.
And I ended up in the caravan kind of thing set up.
The cheap.
Yeah, the cheap. And we stopped off at this like random town, and it was just like such an experience to kind of do that road trip and be shooting content, and it was very different. So
But
that's
it's like
up there.
you're like thinking of like TV series ideas for basically every single
Got a team of
episode.
60 people.
Yeah,
man.
no, but like look at that. That's like a whole TV.
I expected
series.
more then.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. You have to think of all these ideas
You're
all the
right
time.
though. Yeah, effectively we've taken a lot of kind of television formats.
Yeah, good.
But we do them very much run and gun on the go and very much unscripted. So
But I think that's a really good thing because
Yeah.
that's the new wave of consuming content. I work with so many sort of production houses sometimes when I start working with them, I'm like, guys, this is like 2001.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But when you're creating content, it's very similar to what we do on radio.
True.
This is live, so this is always going and it's real. And that's what you guys basically do when you're filming, right?
yeah, it keeps it very relevant. And yeah, we'll shoot videos and kind of put them out the same weekend. And especially with how fast culture and content moves on the internet now, as you guys know, trends come and go,
Yep.
music comes and goes within a
Poo.
week. There you go.
Yeah.
You know all about that. But you know, when we have done stuff like you say with production companies for television, you film it with them and they're like, okay, yeah, this airs in 5 months. You're thinking everything I say at this point is no longer
gone.
relevant in
Relevant,
5
yeah.
months, and they can't quite work out how to spin it on their head. Whereas we've built our whole structure from the ground up to be a system of we can shoot a video on a Tuesday, have it edited, 100 hours of footage, have it edited and uploaded on the Sunday, and it feels really connected. So.
Wow.
You have been touring the world as well. I mean, you're doing a lot. You have a lot of other businesses that you're doing, which I think is fantastic because that's exactly what you want. But let's talk music right now.
Yes.
Alan Walker, Dash Berlin,
Yes.
and yourself.
I've loved EDM for over a decade as well. So I would go to Miami Ultra every year, Tomorrowland, EDC Vegas, all of these festivals, and I would just go because I loved it. I'd take my camera, I'd vlog myself there and post things on social media just showing that I'm having a good time, all the artists that I enjoy. And through time, I think a lot of those artists appreciated that I was kind of sharing their music, going to support. So I got to know a lot of the artists in the, producers and DJs in the scene. A lot of these guys are also gamers,
Yeah.
which is astonishing.
cool.
Guys like Afrojack, Steve Aoki, Alan Walker, we're all gaming, and especially during lockdown, we were all just jumping on playing games together, which was so cool. And that was just something that I was doing because I enjoyed. And it was 2022 at Tomorrowland. I was there, and superstar producer and DJ Alan Walker
Love him.
sent me a message, and we'd been gaming together, kind of hanging out during lockdown. He just said, "Hey, I get one guest on the main stage for Tomorrowland this year. would you like to join me?
What
And
the-
I'm completely baffled, and I'm thinking,
That's
what on
awesome.
earth is going on? Because there's 1,000,001 amazing kind of DJs and producers you could bring up. But I think he has, watched our content and we get on, and he just thought, I'm going to create this cool moment. So I went out in front of, it was like 120,000 people on the hill in Tomorrowland, seeing it from the other side, where for years and years I've been in that crowd, kind of looking down on it, is the most surreal, absurd moment. We come off the stage and he said to me, he's like, I can see you've got a genuine passion for this. And he said, look, you should learn to DJ. I'll help you. You've already got an audience of people that support you, and you know the music, you listen to it, so there's no reason you can't do this.
Great advice.
Yeah, and at that point, I went home, I bought my first set of decks, I started learning, I was practicing it in myself in my bedroom, and then it got to December. Some friends of mine, they do nights at Ministry of Sound in London. And they said, hey Vic, do you want to come and do a set around Christmas at Ministry of Sound London? So I went from my bedroom DJing to myself to a sold out Ministry of Sound in London, which was such a great vibe.
So
I was
good.
still kind of learning my way, so it was really out of my comfort zone, in the deep end. Started doing all of that, got comfortable, and then Alan came back again, great friend, great advice, and he said, look, if you want to take this even further now, to be a successful DJ, you need your own sound, you need your own productions. And he said, I've got this record I'm working on with the sample from Alice DJ. Do you want to help me work on this and release it? And that was my first release as a music artist, alongside him and Dash Berlin, like
Great
incredible
story.
talents. And now it has, I think, 100 million streams in a year. It's astonishing. It's
Round of
That's
applause.
unbelievable. Yeah, well done, well done.
Love it.
Well done. What I mean, a great guy, Alan Walker. What a great guy as well. I like that, because some people don't want competition in their little realm.
Yeah.
They want to stay and they don't want to help people come up. And I think
100%.
that's really, really important. Mr. Beast.
Yes.
So, not long ago, I was in Abu Dhabi at the NBA match, and I was sitting courtside watching this game, right? Big NBA match. In the middle of the game, it was like the calm before the storm. Everything just stopped.
Okay.
I mean, the crowd went silent. And I'm like, what's going on? And then you just see this white guy walking through the crowd. The Beast. To the point where the game stopped even for a split moment. Honestly, it was this really weird, eerie feeling.
Okay.
And then I'm like, who's that? And then you just saw 15,000 people trying to run down to get a
No
glimpse
way.
of Mr. Beast walked in. With 2.5 minutes left in the game, right at the end of the game,
Wow.
he came and sat courtside, basically 3 seats from me. And I just thought to myself, I've never, and we've seen The Rock walk
Yeah,
into the room. We've seen Tom Cruise walk into a room. We've seen, you name it, we've seen it, hung out with him. I've never seen anything like this with Mr. Beast. It was just eerie. He was, and he's just so casual and,
Yeah.
hey guys, like just walked
I
right
know.
by me, said hello.
He's quite tall as well. If you see him in
Yes,
person,
yes.
so like
It's
people notice him.
It's exactly what I thought. When he
Yeah.
walked by me, I'm like, oh, actually pretty tall. I didn't realize how tall. What? I mean, what is he just next level? Because you
Yeah.
do stuff with Mr.
Yeah, I've
Beast.
been in 2 of his videos this year.
How is that?
He is, those experiences are just absurd. And again, we think we've got a big production, but then there's Mr. Beast who takes it to another level. Yeah, he is a seriously impressive guy. He doesn't switch off. He really has that kind of big business mindset to YouTube. To him, this isn't like a fun little creative game. This is, I'm going to build and do stuff that no one has done before. And what I really respect about him is he, as you see on his videos, the money is not important. You know, the cost of things, it's like, no, I just want to do bigger and better. And yeah, it's so impressive to see. He's really taken, an opportunity and blown it out of the
I feel like he's like the
water.
Steve Jobs of content creation. He's a little bit eccentric. He's a little
Yes.
different. He's got this plan that I think he knows what he wants to do with it. So when you get the call, how do you do it? Like, do you get a call from him? Is it a message? Is it an email? Like, what happens?
It will be, one of the two, or it will be usually we'll message each other and he'll be like, okay, I've got this shoot coming up.
Oh, you're on chat with him.
yeah,
Oh, let's
yeah.
give him a
Wait,
call.
is
No, I'm
it-
joking.
Wow, that's
Is it
amazing.
like phone or DMs?
DMs, yeah, just DMs. It'll just be like
okay.
a casual, like, hey, hey, we're doing this shoot on this day, and they come up pretty fast as
And
well.
do they fly you out, right?
Yeah, so
Do you get a private jet or not?
yeah, the last shoot we did, he sent a
So
sent a private jet to London to
crazy?
grab us, and that's like, yeah, that's a whole
Dude,
nother level.
Can we just send a private jet
Yeah.
to London to pick you up
Yeah.
Yeah.
and take you to a shoot?
To shoot a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Like that's where we are. Like
Yeah.
I love it.
Have you tried premium economy though? Mate,
I
that
mix
is
it up.
class.
I mix it up from time to time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do like a easy jet to Ibiza. You never know where you're gonna find me.
Yeah, you're still a good lad. That's what I like.
So good. Yeah, I love it. I think the whole thing, I think what you guys are doing, I think is fantastic. I think you've dominated the era of it as well, which I think is so good. And longevity is everything. So for you to keep carrying it on and doing music and opening up cafes and you got beverages and you got so much more going on, I think it's brilliant to see. And you're a good guy. Nala, I want you to wrap up the interview. Do you want to say anything whilst Vikkstar's in because I know you're a big fan. Is there anything you want to... Did I not ask anything, or do you want to ask
No,
something?
you asked all the correct questions. I will say that.
good.
It's nothing. It's just thank you. Like, they were a source of entertainment for so long. Till this day, we've been watching you all collectively as a group for 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
way back then, and it just feels like, it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm watching people that's changed. You guys have stayed consistent since the first day I've watched you till
That means a
now.
lot. Thank you.
Even with all like the clout and making fun of KSI for that, but it's just like, it feels like
What are they
family.
making fun of KSI about?
Because he has clout now, and like he
Oh,
thinks
he
he's
doesn't
like
think
you.
he does-
Exactly. You see how the dynamic is with you? That is
Yeah.
exactly how it is.
Do you just make
Well,
sure
he's
to
a good guy.
remind him
Is
about
he sexy as well? That's
his
great.
Yeah.
Just stop. So do you do that to him?
We all have to keep each other grounded.
Right.
We're all each other's biggest haters from time to
Yeah,
time.
that's
But that's really important, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep you grounded.
100%.
It's very important. Does KSI have a Madame Tussauds wax figure?
He does in not in the main one. He does in Blackpool, I believe.
Yes!
I've got one here in Dubai. Man.
Ah.
You want to go sit next to it? I can't believe he's got one. Damn.
Finally.
Have you guys done a video with that? You should do something.
No, we
Go and
haven't,
steal the
actually.
wax figure.
That's a really good idea.
Go and steal it.
As soon as I get home, I'll
Yeah,
get over it.
do
Yeah.
something. They have to keep it temperature controlled though, but you could
Oh,
do
wow.
something with them. Yeah, that would be
I'm just gonna
funny.
melt it.
Have that. Oh, that we melt the figure.
Put it on a birthday cake.
You know how much those things are worth?
Probably
Like
an absurd
I
amount.
think cost-wise, $600,000 US.
Okay, maybe I won't melt it.
It's cheap change for you. Come on, Vikkstar. Thank you so much, Vic. Thank you for coming in. You're a genuine guy, and yeah, we connected just briefly at Untold. I think that was the first
Yeah.
time that we met, and it's very nice to be in contact with you. Keep doing what you're doing, and please come back to the show whenever you want.
No, thank you so much for having me, guys. It's been great.
Awesome, Vikkstar, ladies and gentlemen. Sidemen.
Virgin Radio.